Something weird's happening over in the Democratic Party. I mean, more than the usual weird. This is a good weird. The whiny kids have made so much of a racket that the adults are finally waking up. First, BET Network founder Bob Johnson says this about the Democrats.
The party, in my opinion, has moved, for me personally, too far to the left. And for that reason, I don't have a candidate in this particular, in the party at this time. I think at the end of the day, if a Democrat is going to beat Trump, that person, he or she, is going to have to move to the center, and you can't wait too long to do that.
He said this about the economy.
I think the economy is doing absolutely great. So African-American unemployment is at its lowest level, Hispanic unemployment, women. So I give President Trump, and I've said this before on Squawk Box, I give President a lot of credit for moving the economy in a positive direction that's benefiting a large number of Americans.
That sound you hear is Cory Booker crying. And then there's Jeh Johnson, Obama's DHS secretary, criticizing his party's candidates for essentially proclaiming to smugglers that we have open borders. Wow, where did these guys come from? A MAGA rally? Both are vocal black Democrats, yet I can't wait for the media to paint them as white supremacists. So I applaud this, because right now the sensible Democratic Party is in hiding, terrified of the looniest voices, an unlikable mess of identity screamers and Antifa sympathizers who throw milkshakes for exercise. Maybe these two Johnsons will lead the way for other Dems to stand up and shout, "Stop being crazy." If only crazy people would listen. But delusions make you deaf to sense. Right now, the Democrats are approaching cult status, one that rejects all mainstreaming, shrinking in size as they alienate everyone who isn't woke enough. For the new left, any deviation from resist makes you complicit in evil. Just being born can make you racist. But this strategy is for losers, meaning if only 4 people by your tiny definition are woke, that means the remaining 340 million aren't. And if you wish to condemn the unwoke, say goodbye to all of them. You'll be members of the world's smallest party, one that no one wants to attend. You know, Dana, if I were a team sport ideologue, I would have trashed the Johnsons, right? Because I don't want the Dems to listen to them. I want them to keep going in the identity path. But I am a good person. I'm almost as good as Ed Henry. Like, he donating his liver, I'm donating my thoughts to the Democratic Party.
And we did, just before the show, we got an update that Ed came through the surgery just fine. So
I think I'd like to say, but that my support got him through.
I think it probably did. I just can't wait till he's well enough to laugh.
Yes.
Laugh again, and he'll be watching. So the Jeh Johnson one I thought was very interesting because he was like, whoa, stop.
Yeah.
And you know, when he did it was right after the Democratic debate, when all but 1 or 2 people raised their hand saying that they were for decriminalizing crossings at the border.
Yeah.
And for President Trump, like, he doesn't have to win all of the African-American votes, but if he can increase his margins just a little bit, that will help. Remember, that vote did not turn out as well for Hillary Clinton as they did for Barack Obama. So that is an area where I think that where Republicans could make some gains if they wanted to focus a little bit.
Yeah. Jesse, can you name the city that Bob Johnson was in?
Was it Paris?
It might be. Either that or Vegas.
It could have been Vegas. You never know. They do a good job there.
Yes.
I'm going to repeat something that I've said probably 2 or 3 times already. If you're a Democrat running for president, you can't win the general with socialism, but you can't win the primary without it. And here's the conundrum. 60% of Americans oppose giving health insurance to illegals. 60% oppose eliminating private health care. 60% oppose reparations, and an overwhelming majority oppose gun confiscation and sanctuary cities. But the Democratic primary hardcore left-wing voters support all that stuff. So there's a huge disconnect between mainstream consensus American thinking and Democrat primary voters that puts them in a huge bind. Notice how they've tabled their traditional bread and butter kitchen table issues like jobs and wages and trade and manufacturing because the Trump economy is so hot.
Yeah.
And all of the massive wage growth is taking place amongst the bottom half of wage earners, especially among blacks and Hispanics. It's a bottom-up recovery, as opposed to the Obama fake recovery, which was mostly from the top. Now, to Dana's point, the Democrats have not been able to recreate that Obama coalition. Hillary couldn't do it. They're trying to replicate it again. Minorities, young women, millennials, they're just not going to be able to do it. And so I just think Trump's got this locked down to the max, and barring an unforeseen disaster, it's re-election in a landslide.
Well, Juan, I will say this. You're one of the people that talk about the need for a center lane and stuff like that. The problem is the people that are supposed to be in the center are wiggling out of it. And they should be like the Johnsons and say, we want the center lane.
The Johnsons.
The Johnsons.
2020.
We need a Band-Aid from Johnson & Johnson.
Johnson & Johnson. I know these guys. I can get them together. I will say that I thought that your analysis was pretty good on the conundrum. But the thing is, Jesse, it's a Democratic primary. You got to get the Democratic nomination.
I know.
And so this is no coronation, which was the complaint about Hillary Clinton, if you'll recall.
Right.
You have real factions within the party contesting to see who comes out on top. I think that's healthy. And let me just say.
But hasn't it moved to the left, though, Juan?
Come on. Give me a second. I think the young people, Greg, are the ones who are pushing to the left. But guess what? Right now, Joe Biden remains in the lead in the Democratic race. And why is that? Because the older folks, and guess what? The blacks and Hispanics back Joe Biden. So
I'm so tired of guessing.
Maybe the party has not moved so far to the left. To my mind, the Republicans under Trump have moved to the far
Why
right.
are their politics going so far?
I got to get.
No, I think their politics are reflecting what they're experiencing, especially in the Trump administration, where you have families being separated in the life.
Separating the families again, Katie.
Oh, my gosh. That whole thing. Look, this is a reflection of the Democrats saying everything under Trump is a crisis and therefore nothing is a crisis. And when you have people like Bob Johnson and Jay Johnson coming out, it completely destroys the argument that Donald Trump is a racist who has to be stopped at all costs, regardless of all the other economic factors or policy positions that they put ahead. People like Elizabeth Warren, I will say, is putting forward some kind of policy position while at the same time going after Trump very personally. But when it comes to the politically correct nature and the constant accusations of racism, it's like Democrats haven't learned a single thing about why Donald Trump won in the first place.